This is Susan Hudson, VP of Equa Marketing.
And this is Jamie Edson, Marketing Communications Specialist. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about why online client reviews matter to veterinary practices. In the second half, we will also talk about how veterinary practices can deal with negative client reviews. Commercial review sites such as Google and Yelp have become an integral aspect of online searches. Clients not only visit the website and social pages of a veterinary practice, they can also visit review sites to read what others have to say about the practice.
Yes, of course, Jamie. Review sites are a goldmine of information. People use these platforms to post their experiences and impressions and for providing their views. A veterinary site will win ratings based on the input it earns.
Speaking of ratings, Susan, when it comes to client satisfaction, you win some and you lose some. It's impossible to win a raving review every single time.
That's true, Jamie. No one said anything about life being fair all the time. Consumers, or in this case clients, look for profiles that feature plentiful reviews, both good and bad. In fact, if your profile only features raving reviews, potential clients might get suspicious. The last thing you want is for a potential client to think your reviews are fake or doctored in any way.
That's true. Even if you strive hard to provide stellar customer experience every single time, there's every chance that one client might walk away not too happy or mainly dissatisfied. Moving on to a topic that I think our listeners definitely are interested in, dealing with negative client reviews. Why don't you talk us through some of the most effective ways of dealing with negative reviews, Susan?
Well, good, bad, or ugly, the first and most important aspect of dealing with online client reviews requires that veterinary practices frequently monitor their online reviews. Keep an open mind about reviews and remember that sooner or later, everyone gets a negative review. You can say it's even expected. However, we are dealing with people, and it never hurts to be polite, thoughtful, and kind. Having said that, here are some of the things I would recommend. To begin with, responding to reviews promptly shows you care. Clients want a response from you, and when you do so quickly, it shows that you care about what is being said about your practice. Next, anytime you receive a negative review, it is best that you privately reach out to the person who wrote the comment before going ahead and responding. You can do this either via email or phone. Next, never get into an argument with a client simply because he left you a negative comment. Remember, you are in a public battleground, and any negative action you take will be seen by all. Point number 4. Even if you are not at fault, apologize. I understand that as humans, this can sometimes be difficult, especially if you really are not in the wrong. However, this is one effective way of breaking through any negativity that the client might harbor. A positive move on your part could even result in the person stepping forward and engaging with you in a conversation. And finally, I would say take your time with posting a response over public platforms. Collect your thoughts and think with a cool mind. If you have a trusted friend or staff, ask them to give your work a read over as well. These little steps, Jamie, really can help create a positive mindset about dealing with negative reviews. What veterinary practices need to keep in mind is that a review is not a personal attack. It almost always stems from an experience or interaction that left the client wanting or unsatisfied in some way. If you can identify that reason, then the only thing left for you to do is to find a way to remedy the situation and improve the relationship.
That is correct, Susan. Instead of focusing on the why, it is best that veterinary practices focus on the how-to of addressing a grievance or improving on their quality of service. Well, this is all the time that we have for this webinar. Thank you so much, Susan, for taking the time out and providing us with those useful tips on dealing with negative reviews.
As always, talking to you is a pleasure, Jamie, and I'm really glad to be able to share my insights with you and our listeners.
Thanks, Susan. And thank you to all of our veterinary listeners out there. If you have any questions on this topic or any other questions, please send us an email and we'll get back with a new webinar soon.